What's going on, everybody? What's up? I'm gonna go get my tea ready. While I get my tea ready, we are going to place this as such. Y'all feel free to ask questions, ask away. I'm gonna get my tea real quick and I will be right back. I got my tea. I got my tea, baby. My tea is ready. The tea is poured. Let's see, how am I gonna do this? You gotta get that tea, man. That tea is where it's at. Got a big cup of it tonight. What up, Fish? What up, Jax? Good to see y'all, man. Good to see y'all. As y'all are rolling in, if you have any fragrance questions, I'm here to answer them tonight. We're only gonna be on for like a half hour. Hopefully y'all don't drag me down for another 2 hours like the last 5 nights, but we're gonna get it in, answer as many questions for the people. We're gonna roll out. What would be cool? You know what? I'm gonna try something new tonight. What if, is this possible? What up, GOAT? I want to try to get an angle that shoots down on the collection so you guys can see a majority of the collection while you ask questions, because a lot of people's questions have to do with things they see in the collection. So that's what we're going to focus on tonight, is trying to get y'all situated where y'all can see a much crazier view of the collection. So we got this arm. We're going to see if we can plug that in and get a nice crazy shot of the collection. So that has to stick in the wall. That probably has to stick in the wall as well. So let's do this. Let's do that. Jam that in the wall like such. Wrap that around like that. That might work. How y'all doing, man? Y'all got any good fragrance questions for me? Let's see if that works. I think that might. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. We're going to scoot that back for now. I'm going to think through that. We'll get back to it. I'm trying to think what would really be able to... I think I got an idea. Do we have some more music for the people? What's up, everybody? What up, SoCal? Is Jasur by Latafa good for the hot weather? First question of the night. Let's check. Latafa Jasur. So I'm guessing you're talking about this fragrance? Unisex fragrance, launched in 2023. Notes are apple, cardamom, bergamot, lavender, tobacco, geranium, base, leather, patchouli, vetiver, tonka. Yeah, this seems like a pretty any season, any reason fragrance, to be honest with you. It's a little dense, but I think it could easily go outdoors because it's mostly citruses on woods. Or sorry, citruses on herbals. Yeah, I think that would be any season, any reason, buddy. See if I can get any last minute on this. Yeah, everyday scent, day or night, can be used pretty much in any situation. Yep. I figured. I just wanted to see what other people were saying about it. But yeah, any season, any reason, buddy. Unisex, though. Remember that. SoCal, what up? Goat, what up? Morbo, what up? Zeno, what up? Is Le Male Parfum good for school? If you're in high school, for sure. Good evening, sir. Would it be possible to get a little behind the scenes? You know, that's exclusive content, Zeno. Exclusive content. What up, Stiff? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I have not smelled Jasur in person. I have a lot of Latafa back here, but that's one I haven't come across. But just from the note breakdown, it looks like a pretty down the middle unisex fragrance. I think the only thing that's keeping it masculine is that tobacco note. But the general consensus of people who have been buying it have been saying that it is pretty much any season, any reason, day or night fragrance. So enjoy that. Now, whether or not the fragrance is good or not, that's a different question. Le Male Parfum's pretty much good for anything, but it's an overly sweet fragrance. So if you're into sweet stuff, during the summer, it'll act like Versace Eros. So you'll be pretty fine, but it'll still be sweet. Joel, what up? The sensei. Dude, I knew that was going to be your scent of the day. How are you enjoying it? This is your first wearing, right, Joel? Do you have the original purple Hawas? My original Hawas isn't purple. My original Hawas isn't purple. But yeah, I have it. What up, James? Thoughts on Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Beau? A lot of people love Le Beau. For me, it's Le Male Elixir. Every day of the week, Le Male Elixir, best JPG. But I mean, if you like anything from Jean Paul Gaultier, you will like everything. Le Male, Ultramil, Le Beau, Coral Fantasy, doesn't really, or Paradise Garden, it doesn't really matter. What are your thoughts on Spice Bomb Night Vision? It's trash. Spice Bomb Night Vision is trash. The performance is trash. The smell is like okay. It's like a combination between like sweat. It's not even truly a leather fragrance. It smells like suede and new car smell, but like half the potency. It smells good. It doesn't smell great. It doesn't smell signature. It smells good enough to want to wear, but the performance is so terrible that it's just so generic. And when you smell Spice Bomb Extreme, Spice Bomb Infrared, you feel like you wasted your money on that one for sure. And it's unfortunate because you want to love it. Same way you want to love the green Spice Bomb. You know, it's like it's got a good smell, but the performance is trash. It smells too close to Spice Bomb Extreme and Infrared. It's just not. Everybody's green fragrance seems to just sprinkle a little green apple in it and call it a day and just keep their original formulation. It's really a waste of time. But yeah, if you want, I have a full hot take review on Spice Bomb Night Vision. And I just did my review on it last month. Original Hawass is actually blue, even though most people think it was purple. Well, there you go. I was pretty certain I had the original Hawass, but as I was holding it up to the camera, I could see like why people would say it's purple. So, you know, yeah, I have it though. But I decant out my Hawass, my Nautica Blue, my Banana Republic Arctic Slate. That's a fragrance we decant out to subscribers because I don't wear it. I kind of use those three fragrances, those blue classics, as like teaching purposes. And by the way, guys, I found a fire new layering combo today. I really need to get my Combo 101 episode series going, and I'm going to start that this week because the combos I'm finding are unreal. The combo was Encre Noir à l'Extrême and Low Midi à l'Extrême. So I wanted to take two fragrances that people are divided on and put them together. So Encre Noir à l'Extrême, people say pencil shavings, people say burning wood, people say wood and embers, dry wood, smoky, vetiver, right? The only people that really love wearing this fragrance on their own is like 35 and up men. 35 down don't really wear this a lot, but a lot of people want to buy it because a lot of people recommend it. Same thing with Encre Noir Original and Sport. Guerlain's Low Midi à l'Extrême, a lot of people love, but people are split down the middle. People who love fruits love this. People who don't particularly love cherry have a hard time finding use case for this, even though they think it smells good. So this is kind of like cherry almond champagne. So it's got this classy, smooth cherry almond note. But what I did is I said, okay, let's oppose this with something completely contrastive to duff out some of the potency of the sweet cherry. So we're going to tone down the cherry a little bit and then just put more bass in the fragrance to make it feel more classy and manly. So this is the combo right now that's absolutely incredible. You can do it at a 1-to-1 ratio. If you want it more fruity, you can go 2-to-1. If you want it more vetivery and smoky, you can go 2-to-1. But I find 1-to-1 ratio on this is absolutely killer. Amazing combo, amazing combo. Cherry, almond on smoky vetiver. Very nice. Have you heard about this new Hermes EDP Intense? Is it a Terre de Hermes or is it just a Hermes fragrance? Lava rock. That's interesting. Is it Terre de Hermes or just some or some kind of Hermes EDP? What is the actual name of the fragrance? I only have Hawas Ice, not a clone, but it reminded me of Azaro Pour Homme Elixir. Note the same notes too. Maybe Hawas Ice and Azaro Pour Homme Elixir mixed together. Okay. So it's a good fragrance, but it's not like exciting and revolutionary. Appreciate you, Joel. Yeah, so the EDT had a flint note in it. I love it, but the lava rock. So what are you referring to? Which Hermes are you referring to? I'm good, Goat. I'm good, buddy. YSLY EDP good for school, and is there anything more subtle for school in the Y line? What do you mean in the Y line? You mean the YSL line? I personally think YSLY is too much for school. YSLY is like you're trying to impress girls, but if you're not taking them on dates and you're not going to a party with them, I would like YSLY. If I was in high school, I would wear that like over to a girl's house or over to a party. I wouldn't wear that as a signature everyday fragrance. You're doing too much. You're just like always trying to be like romantic and charming, but you're in school. Like for me, if I wanted to wear something from the YSL line, my signature scent would probably be YSL L'Homme because it's really light. Like a girl would have to walk right up to you to really get it, but once she got it, she'd be hooked. So La Nuit de L'Homme or YSL L'Homme is better for school, without question. And it's gonna be a cheaper fragrance. How much will one spray project, Joel? One spray of YSLY will probably take you through your whole class program, but I wouldn't put YSLY on. That's just my opinion. Terre de Hermes. Okay, so Terre de Hermes has a new EDP with lava rock in it. Interesting. I almost bought Terre de Hermes today, but you know what? I was such a vanilla sucker that I went ahead and bought Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum. It's one of my favorite fragrances of all time. I know it's light, but I don't care. It's just a orris root and vetiver and grapefruit to me is just like a star-studded everyday, any season, any reason lineup. I don't prefer the Parfum. It's not as commercial. The Parfum is good, but it gets too, it's too extreme for me. But yeah, I was a sucker, man. They had Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum 100 ml for $110 today. It's 50% off. More Bell, absolutely it will. I mean, that makes sense, right? You sweat from your glands in your arms. So if you spray your arms, it's going to project more. Under your shirt, obviously, it's going to project less. In fact, if you were going to be stubborn and wear YSLY, I would say you have to put it under your shirt. Grey Vetiver is straight up gentleman gangster fragrance. I love it. Yeah, man, I don't know what it is, man. It just... There's something about it that's love at first sniff for me. I work a lot, so a utility fragrance for every day to feel expensive, to feel light on the nose, but be super signature. I'm madly in love with Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum. Even the Eau de Toilette, but I got to get the EDP to try to max out performance on it. But for $110 on a Tom Ford 100 ml fragrance, I had to get it. I had to get it. Hawas or Hawas Ice? Hawas Ice every day of the week. Hawas regular is just regular. Unique school fragrance. I'm only going to make a recommendation for something from my collection. If you're into unique fragrances and you can't afford anything from Jean Paul Gaultier, I would go Zanzibar. I think it's quite a bit sweet for high school, but you're at an age where chicks love sweet fragrances mostly. So I would try Zanzibar to stand out from everybody else trying to be Jean Paul Gaultier if they even have it. So Zanzibar, if you like sweet, if you like fresh, I might go with something like Mahir Legacy Silver, um, Versace Eros EDT, or like a Tarathi Blue. You know, that way you smell sweet, but you smell a little bit sophisticated. FOMO Fragheads Asylum, if you want an Elysium feel. There's a couple of different DNAs that I think just work at the high school level. One is Basket of Fruit Citruses up top on Amber and Vetiver. So that's like your Tygar, your Elysium, those type of vibes, your Imagination, your La Corday, your Wulong Cha. Then there's the spice bomb-esque fragrances, spices and sweetness. So your Lamal Elixir, your Halloween Man Shot, your Spice Bomb Extreme, your Spice Bomb Infrared, your Tom Ford Noir, that type of stuff. And then the other thing is like the gym fragrance. So after you're done with PE or whatever, you're gonna want something like Silver Mountain Water, like Green Irish Tweed, somewhere in that arena. Those are the 3 DNAs for high school, I think. Sweet spicy, sweet tropical / aquatic, and then aquatic earthy metallic. Thoughts on Mankind Unlimited? Don't get it. Have you tried Tobacco Oud by Tom Ford? Very nice. It's upscale though, but it is very nice. Have you smelled Boss Bottle Infinite? Boss Bottle Infinite is great. In fact, if you go to TJ Maxx or you go to Burlington, there's some great deals on Boss Bottle right now. I think you can get 50 mLs for like $30. Is there a certain smell I should go for if I was just in the gym? How old are you, Moon? How old are you? Yeah, man, I think a lot of teenagers try to be loud in a gym and you start sweating when you work out and you smell like BO with your fragrance. And so the sweeter or the more herbal or the more green your fragrance is, the more it just kind of smells like a funky sock. So I would go with the most purest, freshest fragrance I can possibly think of in the gym. That way when I sweat, I still smell clean. Talking white florals, talking linen, talking soap. So I'm going with the driest fragrance possible. Something like Mont Blanc Starwalker is going to be extremely fresh. Something like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense, super fresh. Something like Banana Republic's 90 Pure White, super fresh. Something like a Linen Vetiver from Banana Republic, super fresh. The most niche I would go with it is maybe Creed Silver Mountain Water. But yeah, I tend to not want to smell like anything other than clean laundry when I'm working out, because when I sweat, I'm changing the chemistry completely. So I think to me, like Mont Blanc Starwalker is like super solid for the gym. Don't try to have a signature fragrance for the gym. It's inappropriate. It's out of place. It doesn't make sense. Wear a super clean fragrance so that when you're working out, a girl walks by you and thinks you just smell super fresh and well put together, and call it a day. The most I would put in it that actually has fragrance would maybe be citrus. That's why I tend to lean towards like something like Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense. Don't get the regular version, because then you'll have some citruses going on. But yeah, man, I think clean linen is actually the best route to go, or even like aquatic. You can go aquatic as well. But yeah, I mean, trying to go into a gym sweet or overly fruity or smoky or woody just doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, you want to complement the environment. You're like trying to turn the gym into something it's not. And sweat ruins fragrance chemistry. Absolutely ruins it. And I mean, here's something else to think about. You might not be sweating a lot, but somebody might be sweating around you. Like an entire gym has a BO thickness. So that's still gonna come into contact with your chemistry and mess up your fragrance. So you want the cleanest thing possible when you're working out. Pereira, which clone were you asking for? A clone of which fragrance? Boss Bottled Infinite is not a linen fragrance. I just told you like 3 or 4 fragrances that smell like linen. Even something like Calvin Klein's 1 is a clean linen white floral fragrance. But yeah, I mean, you can get away with any of those linens that I spoke on. Excuse me. But Boss Bottled Infinite, I think, is more along the lines, not DNA-wise, but in terms of vibe, as like Mont Blanc Legend Spirit, Nautica Voyage, Dylan Blue. You know, Boss Bottled Infinite has like a charm to it. It's like a freshie with charm everyday fragrance, but it's not a gym fragrance. Best fragrances are for teens at school. If we're talking designer, I think the best fragrances for teens at school is going to be Jean Paul Gaultier, Le Beau or Ultramale, Versace Eros EDT, Azzaro Chrome, Nautica Voyage, Calvin Klein Defy, Gucci Guilty, Prada L'Homme, Terre d'Hermes, EDT, Invictus Aqua. Those are all kind of star-studded high school fragrances. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Extreme. Yeah, I mean, the thing about Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue is it's so light. I mean, it's such a poor performing fragrance that it really sucks. A lot of people have light blue because they don't know light blue intense exists, but you know, you wasted money if you bought light blue because you're gonna have to spray 10 plus sprays to just get through 4 to 6 hours. Do you like any companies like Genre or New Bottles who make their own clones and inspired fragrances? Absolutely. I mean, I think it raises the bar for everybody. A great new fragrance for the gym, Issey Miyake Celle d'Issy. Celle d'Issy? Okay. Thank you, Joel. Appreciate that. There is no clone currently of Tobacco Oud by Tom Ford that anybody respects. Yeah, I would just get the real thing, man. You guys know me. If there's a valid clone, I will be speaking on it, but Tobacco Oud is such a unique, classy fragrance that even if you only could afford a travel spray of it, it's worth having. You're not gonna wear Tobacco Oud a lot. It's gonna be like a super signature fragrance that you bust out on special occasions. So either get a travel spray of it. You know, a travel spray of Tobacco Oud would last you about 5 to 7 days worth. So we're talking like 5 to 7 different occasions you can bust it out, and it's only going to cost you maybe 15 to 25 bucks. Tobacco Oud's not a fragrance that you're going to wear a lot, to me personally. So there's no point in spending all that money and then having a Tom Ford sit on your shelf. You're not even going to be wearing it. Joel with the recommendations, I love it. What's some good Lattafa fragrances that are affordable but still smell good? All of them. All Lattafa fragrances are affordable. Lattafa means affordable in Indian. I'm just joking. Bro, there's just so many, man. There's so many. Lattafa Sucrat is amazing. Acqua di Gio Profumo. Sucraat. That's still to me one of the best Lattafas of all time. Oud for Glory from Badi Al Oud. Lattafa Assad. Lattafa Zanzibar. Kamrakawa. And there's so many. There's so many. Fakar Black. Would you wear Burberry Hero? I'm going to be honest, man. Burberry Hero, I know people say it's good. The people who say Burberry Hero is good are the same people who say Dolce & Gabbana The One is good. And I don't care what people say about how good those fragrances are. They don't wear those fragrances. They wore them a long time ago and had like a cool wearing experience as one of their first fragrances. They had a good time with it, and that was it. Nobody in the modern day who has a little bit of money is rocking freaking Dolce & Gabbana The One and freaking Burberry Hero. People who rock, listen, this is not a knock on anyone's money. It's not about money. Anyone can plug into fragrance from any walk of life, and it's a beautiful thing. Today, in today's climate, you do not have to get away with having Dolce & Gabbana The One and freaking Burberry Hero as your sexy date night fragrance. You don't have to do that anymore. There's like 100 clones on the market that beat those out for sexy date night, spicy, warm, ambery, sweet fragrances. There's just no point. Now, are those fragrances good? They're good in the same way that Nautica Voyage is good. Nautica Voyage is a good, classy fragrance. Do I wear it in 2025? No. Nobody wears it. Like, if they're wearing it as like a throwback fragrance. Like, for instance, my homie Kix. Kix today was saying he layered some fragrance today with Nautica Blue, and it was absolutely fantastic. It gave him like a tropical feel. But again, he jazzed it up. He made it something different. No one's just bragging and loving the fact that they're wearing Nautica Blue. And the same thing with Burberry Hero. Like, just ask yourself, when you go on YouTube, how many people are talking about Burberry Hero? No one. The only time you're going to see Burberry Hero is when it's like, you know, best affordable fragrances under 30 bucks. And that's just because they're deriding, man. They're just copying people who said it before them. They're not wearing the fragrance every day to truly tell you that. Now, I've worn those fragrances, so I can tell you they're cool. They're okay. They're not signature. They're not worthy of a ton of use. They're circumstantially date night. And if your date smells Burberry Hero on you or freaking Dolce & Gabbana The One, she's going to know you're broke. Those are old school classics. So you're going to smell old school classic. You know, it might still be romantic and sweet, but they have an oldness to them. Acqua di Gio Armani is an amazing fragrance. But if you wear the Eau de Toilette in 2025, there was a time where I wore the EDP, right? Which is the most recent release. And my sister-in-law walked by me and she said, "Oh my gosh, I remember that fragrance." And she remembered it from when she was a kid, like 20 years ago. That's not the type of compliment I want, like a reminiscent, like, "Oh, I remember when that was good." Like, now granted, I was wearing the EDP, so she was out of line for saying that. But the EDP smells reminiscent of the old. So my point is like, when somebody smells you and there's a nostalgia associated to it where she's either smelled it on you or she smelled it on her dad or her uncle growing up, or she's smelled it on another guy because another guy was probably broke, so he went to Ross and picked it up. Like, you're just gonna smell regular, bro. Don't buy Burberry Hero thinking you're gonna smell special and thinking you're gonna get a lot of compliments. Little girls might give you compliments, but like, they're not gonna be all over you. You know what I mean? Like, The reason they're giving you compliments is the same reason they would compliment any other sweet fragrance at a designer shop. And that's just because they're kids. They don't know anything. They just smell anything other than pure air. And they're like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. You know? Girls, young girls don't have any taste in fragrance. That's why they go to Bath and Body Works. You know, you could smell 20 fragrances from a little girl, you know, and I'm just telling you about my experience in high school. You can smell 20 fragrances from a young girl, and they all just smell like one thing, sugar, right? It's just sugar. Strawberry, banana, tropical, you know what I'm saying? White floral, pink floral, rose water. It's like you have to train a woman's nose. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to direct their nose. Like this is what we call signature. They walk by you and they go, oh my gosh, I have never smelled anything like that before. That is sexy. And you might have a little bit of sweetness just to catch their attention, but everything else behind all of that is what's sexy. Burberry and Dolce & Gabbana, the one, have that sexy sweetness, but that's all they have. The dimension behind it is too familiar to the nose. It's a massively worn fragrance. Massively overworn. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Intense, but it's a bit oceany and salty for me. Any recommendations? Summer Frag? Too salty. Okay, so you're looking for sweeter. Banana Republic's Arctic Slate. Invictus Aqua. Tarathi Blue from Offnon. Versace Eros EDT. Or Sahib Intense. Will get you just right, George. Or Joel's recommendations. What are some good winter school fragrances? La Nuit de l'Homme from YSL or YSL L'Homme is an amazing winter fragrance. Seductive, get any girl you want, killer. One of the most sophisticated designer fragrances ever made, in my opinion. Another beautiful winter, Maison Alhambra Kismet, YSL Tuxedo, smooth, vanillic, spicy, cacao, champagne. Super sleeper. Cayenne Classic, Dior Homme Intense, sexy winter iris killer. Maison Alhambra Cassius, cloning Carlisle, Amir Celestial. There's so many good ones. There's so many freaking good winter fragrances. YSLY, Prada L'Homme Intense, Prada L'Homme Black, Prada L'Homme Les Parfums, Prada Luna Rosa Ocean, Prada Luna Rosa Les Parfums. Like there's just so many. Azzaro The Most Wanted or Wanted by Night. There's so many good ones. Angel Share by Killian is the best for dates in bed. I don't go on dates in bed. I separate those occasions. You don't need Angel Share by Killian. You just need Amir Paris Corner Fire Your Desire. And you have Angel Share for $25. Great date night fragrance. Great date night fragrance. For me, I'm 35. I want something a little more edgy and less sweet and less gourmand, but I'm taking myself out of the picture. I'm just saying universally, if you go in there smelling like dark liquor, in this case cognac, and spices and vanilla, she will be all over you. Doesn't matter what I think. Matters what the world thinks. The world has spoken, and the ladies have said, I am in love with Angel Share. Now, most of them are in love with Angel Share because they like it on themselves. But as a unisex fragrance with cognac, this is a lady killer. This will be on anybody's panty dropper list. I'm not wearing Angel Share to bed. I don't want to smell sugar when I'm trying to sleep. Some of y'all just need to clean your house so your air smells better. Yo, Morbell, you ask so many questions, man. So many people answer your questions, and then you ask something silly afterwards. It's like, you have everything you need, man. Listen, man, Burberry Hero is cool. It's just old. It's like, I try to tell people like this. Nautica Voyage, this is my second bottle, okay? Decent dent. Classic, solid, good fragrance. It's punching at about a 7 or 8 out of 10. But I'm not going to tell you to buy Nautica Voyage because you're going to be the sexiest man alive or you're going to turn heads. This is not a head-turning fragrance. This is a respectful fragrance. You're going to walk by and you're going to get women and men's respect for smelling slightly charming, slightly above fresh. Don't expect the moon and the stars. And the same thing with Burberry Hero. It's a good fragrance, but don't expect to turn heads with Burberry Hero. We're not doing that in 2025. I'm not going to lie to you. The young girl that was going to compliment you on your Burberry Hero or your Dolce & Gabbana The One is the same girl that would have complimented you with anything you had on because she's never smelled a fragrance before. Mahir Legacy Silver is great for the summer, but you have to love lime. That's the thing. I love Mahir Legacy Silver, but if you're not madly in love with metallic silver and lime, you will hate that fragrance. You're good, Morbell. You're good, man. You're good. Bro, is Lattafa Camera a good dupe for Angel Share? No, absolutely not. Camera is not Angel Share. Camera is Camera. Whoever marketed that as an Angel Share clone should be hung at the stake. This is Angel Share. You don't need anything else. Look at the juice. That is Angel Share, guys, to a T. Camera smells nothing like this. Is Camera a good, sweet, gourmand-leaning fragrance? Absolutely. But they marketed you a lie. Camera is not Angel Share. Kamerakawa is not Angel Share. I wouldn't even say it's close to Angel Share. If I had to say how close it was to Angel Share, I'd give it a 5 out of 10. Fire Your Desire, however, is probably 95% close. And I actually just smelled Angel Share recently. The only difference between Angel Share and this is for some reason the cognac note is even stronger on Angel Share, which I didn't really remember because the cognac note on this is really nice, even though on Fragrantica it doesn't say cognac. There absolutely is, or a synthetic cognac or whatever. But yeah, Angel Share has more cognac, but it's got the praline, it's got the cinnamon, it's got the vanilla. It's good. Is Lattafa Camera worth the hype? No, it's not. I'm just being truthful. I have never seen somebody's Lattafa Camera 100 ml bottle more than less than 75% full. So they're busting it out for special occasions or holidays, and that's it. You're not going to wear it as much as something like Spice Bomb or Tom Ford Noir or Noir Extreme. You wouldn't, it doesn't even hold a candle. I don't even think you can wear Camera as much as you wear like Jean-Paul Gaultier. You know, those fragrances you can wear every day. You can kind of make a case for any season, any reason, even though they're dominantly like cold weather fragrances. With Camera, however, Camera is so gourmand, you can almost only wear it in freezing cold weather or during the holidays, but you still wouldn't wear it often because of how sweet and holiday it feels. Same with Kawa. I actually wore Kawa for Halloween. Tom Ford Oud wood, I don't think is worth the money. Woody Oud. Woody Oud will totally get the job done. You do not need Tom Ford Oud wood at all. Go on Amazon, buy this for 18 bucks, and you will have Oud wood at least 90%. Might not have all the background depth, but you don't really need it because the DNA is so simple. This fully captures what Oud wood is. I would never spend my hard-earned money on the actual Oud wood. I try to go to the designer shops and smell Oud wood and like remind myself, like almost see if I'm missing out on something. And I'm like, oh no, this is Maison Alhambra. Like this isn't, it's the same thing. Sedley or Greenlee? Sedley, 100%. They're two different palettes. One's like green sweet, one's like metallic fresh lime. Way more utility to me with Sedley than Greenlee, but for people who like kind of that sweet artificial green, slightly earthy vibe, it would have just as much utility. But I think side by side, Sedley spanks Greenlee. Not by much, but slight edge to Sedley. Do you only collect Middle Eastern? No, I mean, I collect a lot of Middle Eastern because, I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, if we go down the line, there we go. Armani, Mancera, Lalique, Bentley. Like, we got stuff. Not only that, but this entire drawer right here is niche. Probably over 100 niche in the drawer. I don't pull the trigger easily on niche fragrances because I'm extremely picky. And with a lot of the inspirations and clones, I can make my own formula of a lot of DNAs that I just kind of like. Yeah, it's rare that I order niche or designer. Like today I picked up Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum because I had to have it. I picked up Nishane Hasavat. I'm about to pick up 8 and Bob Egypt, but I'm very picky on my niche, guys. Like, I was so surprised when I went to Neiman's. When I went to Neiman's on Sunday, I was shocked how much niche everybody says is good that I didn't enjoy. I didn't enjoy Pegasus. I didn't enjoy Leighton. I didn't enjoy Leighton Exclusive. I didn't enjoy Percival. I didn't enjoy Herod. I didn't enjoy a lot of MFK that's out right now. I didn't enjoy Mind Games. I didn't enjoy a lot of Chanel, you know, Sycamore, Coromandel. I didn't enjoy most of the Tom Ford. I didn't enjoy a lot of the Creed, you know what I mean? Like to the extent of getting the actual niche bottle. I didn't love Silver Mountain water. I didn't love Virgin Island water. I didn't love Viking. I really enjoyed Absolute Aventus to the point. And when I say love, I mean like, would I spend the retail money to get the niche? Not like, do I like the DNA? Because everything I just named, I would get a clone of for sure. But I did not think that it was good enough to warrant a full bottle. Like there were only a few things I really rocked with, you know, things like Tobacco Oud, Black Orchid, Ebony Fume, Grey Vetiver, obviously my Diorum 2020, my MFK Grand Soir, my MFK Amorous, my Parfum de Marly Carlisle, Lafayette Street, Wall Street, You know, even the amouage, like, I forget what it is. I think it's like Jubilation 40 or something 40. I like that one, but all the other amouage, Reflection Man, I hated. I hated almost all the Zherzhov except for maybe Renaissance. A lot of things that people say on YouTube is great. I was like, well, this is okay, but I would never spend $200 to $500 on that bottle. There were only like maybe 5 to 10 fragrances that I was like, okay, when I come back, I'm buying this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so picky, and especially not just for the money standpoint, but like I think about utility. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go to work, I work with I'm in the financial industry. Like, when I pull up to a situation, I gotta smell expensive. I gotta smell classy. I gotta smell different. I gotta smell easy on the nose. You know, I'm married, so my date night scents have to be mindful of my wife. I don't go around and run errands all day and have a casual scent. I'm not a bachelor. Like, stuff is very circumstantial to me. I need romantic date night. I need flying out of the country fragrance. I need a heavy utility suit and tie work fragrance. Maybe a out of the shower fragrance. And that's really it. So that limits my selections to very particular things that I demand. I haven't, Nabil. I have not tried that. Anas, I don't collect. I use Middle Eastern perfumes for sure. You know, another bottle that I picked up was Mancera Amberful. Absolutely loved it. 2-3 weeks ago, picked up Mancera Vetiver Sensual. Absolutely loved it. You know, there's just, listen, man, I'm 35. I like what I like. I don't FOMO out on fragrances. I have to be very impressed to spend some real paper on fragrance. You know, but one thing's for sure. Any fragrance you see here that is from the Middle East, and there's a decent amount, the originals to every one of these clones is right here. I do not buy clones before I buy the original. I buy the originals decanted, and based off of that, I decide if I'm going to buy the actual bottle or if I'm going to go get the clones. And even in the clones, most of them have been sampled before purchased. So to anyone who would think on my channel that my nose is not trained in designer and niche, anybody who watches this channel would never think that, because I mean, it's every time people ask for a fragrance, I'll literally pull it out and smell it right in front of you and compare it to the clones. For the utility purpose of letting you guys know, hey, is this worth buying? Or is the clones doing an incredible job? Save yourself some money and get 4 or 5 bottles for what it would cost you to get. Listen, you don't get brownie points for spending $300 on a fragrance. You're just an idiot, or it's your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, either, you know what I mean? Like, no one respects you more because you paid $3,000 on fragrance. They're going to look at what you have and determine if it's good or not. And just because it costs more does not mean it's a good fragrance. Like I said, I mean, it was amazing. So many people love Latent Exclusive. I put my nose to it and I was like, I wouldn't pay $5 for Latent Exclusive, among many others that I named. People said Coral Mandel was incredible from Chanel. It's not. You know? I'm at an age where I know what I like. And I hope that what my videos do is it gives you context into my world so that in your context, you can think with your own mind and you can learn with your own mind. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about studying the information, trying stuff in the real world, and seeing what really speaks to you. You know, I don't know why Tom Ford Grey Vetiver Eau de Parfum speaks to me. It's a very simple fragrance. Vetiver, grapefruit, orris root. But for some reason, that DNA is magical on my skin, and I absolutely love it. If you look at a top 5 or a top 10 Tom Ford, there are many people who don't even have it on their list, and that's incredible to me. But those same people will have Tobacco Vanille in the top 3, and I'm like, Tobacco Vanille is top 3 best Tom Fords? I don't even understand. I can't even fathom that. But that's them. That's their life. I don't sit and freak out over that. But, you know, people know what I like, and so I think they're able to see why I like certain things and contextualize that into their own fragrance journey. And they know they can trust me, and they know that I thoroughly look at something, and they know I see both sides of the picture, and they really appreciate what I bring to the table. And that's why there's so many 500,000 subscriber channels, and a lot of people watch my channel. You know, we're sitting at 500,000 views in 60 to 90 days. That's incredible. Sauvage Elixir or Le Male Elixir? Ooh, that's a good question. The political answer, Aditya, which is basically like, the answer I should say is Sauvage Elixir, but me personally, I would say Le Male Elixir. Yeah, I will have Hawass Fire in about a week or two. La Yucawan versus Tom Ford Tuscan Leather. Here's the thing about La Yucawan. It's an extremely old fragrance. It's one of the first original clones that kind of even put the word clones out on the map. It's one of the oldest clone fragrances that first made people start taking clones seriously. So it has mass appeal. A lot of people love it. Yes, it is close to Tuscan Leather, but it is absolutely not Tom Ford caliber. Now, with that aside, you got to think about this as well. Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather is not the best Tom Ford leather out there. Ombre leather, to me, is much more interesting and versatile than Tuscan Leather is. Even the new d'Ombre leather that just came out is more interesting. Even effing Fabulous, which isn't leather, but it's suede, is sexier than Tuscan Leather. Even Tom Ford Noir, which has small traces of leather, is way sexier than Tuscan Leather. So I think you have to ask yourself, do you even need Tuscan Leather to begin with? I would actually be chasing the ombre leather DNA. And for that reason, I think Afnan's Rare Carbon is better than La Yucawan. Mercedes-Benz Club Black Lee is amazing. Very nice, spicy, sweet, vanillic butter. Put that on, walk by girls with your neck out like this, and just act like you're looking at stuff, and just watch the projection magnetize every woman in sight. Expect that you buy what you love and you don't go down the line of blind buying on hype. I've only blind bought maybe like 3 fragrances out of my entire collection. And I didn't expect a lot when I bought them. I review fragrances, so there's a couple of times I've blind bought a fragrance just to review it because of all the hype. And not because I wanted to wear it, but because I needed to review it for the channel. Lattafa Atlas is one of those fragrances. I knew I was not gonna like this fragrance. I knew there was something odd about it. Like, half the people said this was the best fragrance they've ever smelled in their entire life. And then the other half said it was the most nauseating fragrance they ever tried. Yet, I bought it because people needed to know what I thought about it. Now it's a giveaway fragrance. It's a fragrance that we decant out and we give to people who want to try it, who win the giveaways and stuff. And I'm cool with that because it's a talking piece. Did you try Thomas Kosmala House? I have not. I have not tried Thomas Kosmala. Leighton is a special fragrance, man. You can't go wrong. Hey, listen. I'm amazed and happy that you think Leighton is great. Thousands of people love Leighton. They absolutely love it. And the people who can't afford Leighton absolutely love Detour Noir from Al Haramain. I think Leighton smells like cherry chapstick, and I can't get over that. I don't love cherry chapstick like that, especially not for the money. And you know what's crazy? Most people don't even have Leighton. Like, let's be real. Most people have a travel spray of Leighton or a tester strip of Leighton, and they know they love the smell of it, but they can't actually afford the real bottle. So I don't listen to a lot of people on Leighton. I think recently, just for fun, you know, because I've told you guys this a lot on stream. A lot of times I'll go back and try something just to make sure I really wasn't capping. So I went back, you know, and I have Leighton right here. And I was like, you know what? Let me smell Leighton again. You know, let me just see, because people just seem to be ranting and raving about this fragrance. Even in the air, it's like expensive cherry chapstick. In this DNA, something like even Instant Crush is better than this, to me. I mean, it's very high quality for a sweet fragrance. It's very high quality. It has the tiniest, you know what it is? If I stopped at this fragrance smells like cherry chapstick, that's plenty to describe the fragrance. It smells like an expensive take on cherry chapstick. But I think another reason people like it when it settles on skin and warms up is because it kind of feels like a modern, slightly cherry-esque take on Cedrat Boisé, which a lot of people really love. Kind of like this mixed fruits, this red fruits, almost like a, not gushers, but like, yeah, just like a sugar soury candy, a candied red fruits, dried fruits on top of woods, slightly vanillic. You know, it's just, it echoes a similar vein as so many fragrances. Let me smell Instant Crush. That herbal tea really reset the nose. They're close. They're very close. You know, we're splitting hairs here. They're both good. Leighton, I think, would be better in the winter, man. Instant Crush, I think, is better year round. It's lighter. It's fresher. Instant Crush and Amberful, to me, are not only more affordable, but you could probably get Amberful and Instant Crush for the price of Leighton and have way more versatility than Leighton itself. Leighton's just generic for me, guys. I'm sorry. I think we can all agree that Leighton is certainly not worth the retail price. I think we can at least get that far. please do a giveaway. We do giveaways all the time, man. We'll be doing a giveaway soon. Just pulled the trigger on Paris Corners Vibrant Vetiver Delight and FOMO Illusion Dun Soir. Greenlee. All right. I'm not going to say anything. Just know that, I mean, you know how I feel about Vibrant Vetiver. So you know that's a great choice. Illusion Dun Soir, just understand that it is not going to be Grand Soir at all. Out of Gary's Den, Fraghead's Asylum, and Dun Soir, that is the least clone accurate to Grand Soir as the others relate to their respective fragrance, you know, Dior Homme and Elysium. But even with the twist that it is, it's still a good fragrance, but don't expect to be getting Grand Soir, because you're not going to get Grand Soir when you get that fragrance. What's up, Potassium? What's your favorite Jean-Paul Gaultier? Le Male Elixir. What's your favorite Valentino? Valentino Uomo Intense. Brother, I'm Middle Eastern. That's why I asked, because I love my Middle Easterns, and I agree that a lot of the originals are redundant by the Middle Eastern. Well, technically, the Middle Eastern is redundant to the original because they're the clone. But I know what you mean. What you mean is, if the clone is cheaper and they did the same thing, why pay for the American fragrance? And I agree with you. Do you have a favorite oud fragrance? I say all of these knowing that not all of them are what I would call true oud fragrances. They're synthetic ouds, but you know, oud for greatness. Love it. Oud Satin Mood, very nice. Oud Silk Mood, very nice. Oud Wood, very nice. Tobacco Oud, very nice. Royal Oud from Creed, very nice. That's all that's coming to my mind so far. I'm thinking about, come on, Benjamin. You don't need advice. You need timeout. Mont Blanc Emblem Intense. Is it? I'll try that, Hanan. I don't see it in the stores often. Atlas had something in it that was so strong, like a chemical alcohol note, that made me aware of it in other clone fragrances. Maybe some notes, it lasts longer. I didn't like it. Yeah, Atlas, you want it to be so good because you smell the oak moss. You smell the kind of mineral-y salt water. It has this chemical note in it that is so off-putting. It's not alcohol. It's a synthetic chemical that's like, it's either animalic, you know, like a civet note or something like that, or ambergris, whale sperm or whatever. It's one of those notes, and it's not a real note of that. It's a synthetic note of it, and the note of it originally is already bad. So when you make like a synthetic version of it, it's even worse because you got to basically use chemicals instead of raw materials, and it's bad. It messes up the whole fragrance. All right, guys, we got a couple minutes left on the stream. I really appreciate you guys so much, by the way. Scent of the day, Maison Tahiti, Vanille de Minuit. Okay. I'm very interested in trying Fraghead's Asylum. Dude, it's amazing. Best Elysium clone. Better than Trillium. Better than all those old school Elysium clones we used to hear about from all the big channels. Fraghead's Asylum is the best performing, most realistic rendition of Elysium out there. I stand by it 100%. It is the best Elysium clone to me, and the cheapest. Do you like Tom Ford's Costa Azur? No. It's very fresh. It's very light. It doesn't perform well. It doesn't sit on skin well. The first 30 minutes of it is respectable, after that you completely lose the fragrance. It breaks apart. They made cheap ingredients with that formulation, without question. They did not put a lot of effort into that. Again, the projective opening is like, oh, this could be a really cool freshie with charm, very open, very airy, but it just breaks down right in front of you. Like, you're just going like this after like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you're like, man, this fragrance is evaporating. Best fresh and woody. So fresh and woody, right here. Vibrant Vetiver Delight. And if you don't want the citrus on top of the vetiver, then if you want to just go dry woods, I would say Bentley Ferment Absolute. If we're talking pure dry woods, it's probably a tie between these two fragrances. If you're from the Middle East, you would like this more, Ancre Noir à l'extrême. This is smoky woods and vetiver. Picture a fireplace and the fire's gone, but the wood is still on fire, that warm, smoky, dry wood. It's this, with some balsams, with some resins, very Middle Eastern-esque, but it's American made. So it's kind of an American take on, it's an American take on woods using resins and smoke and vetiver, but if you like hookah, resins, spices, this is a very amazing wood. Amazing wood. Pause. If you want something a little more less resinous and more just smoke and wood, Bentley Ferment Absolute has incense. So that's another, to me, Middle Eastern-esque fragrance, because it's so smoke, wood, incense, dark, warmer dark, wood, smoke, vetiver, and balsams and resins, and amber. Yeah, that's okay, man. I mean, D'un Soir is a good fragrance, but the order of best fragrances in that trio, which now there's a quattro because there's that green fragrance, but the best of those in order is Gary's Den, Fraghead's Asylum, D'un Soir, and then the green one. But it doesn't matter. You will like D'un Soir, but it's not going to blow your socks off, because Eternal Oud from Lattafa is a better, truer rendition of Grand Soir. But that doesn't matter. You'll forget that it's cloning Grand Soir after a while, and you'll just wear it as a fragrance. It's a nice vanillic twist of Grand Soir. Fraghead's Asylum, though, is the most versatile out of all the three because it's Elysium. You know, the mixed fruits, the vetiver, the amber. It's so nice. I heard regular Ancre Noir smells like a rainforest. No, 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 no. No, man, it doesn't. No, not at all. I know what they're trying to say, but that's inaccurate, because I can picture a rainforest and I'm thinking slightly earthy, aquatic rain, right? But no, you don't get that at all. What you get from Ancre Noir smells like a dark, rainy day on the sidewalk, and you put your nose right where the curb meets the grass, okay? So you're walking on the sidewalk on a super wet, dark, rainy day, and it's like 7:30 at night. It's pitch black out. The sun's down, and you walk right past the curb to like where the grass starts and stick your nose right there into the grass. It's dark, it's wet, it's inky, and it's earthy. Yeah, you can make a case that that's rainforest, but if somebody said to me rainforest, I would think more fresh, like smelling the rain hitting the ground while standing up. Ancre Noir is like laying in the ground in the dirt on a dark, rainy night. I mean, it's why they call it the fragrance of death. I personally don't think Encre Noir should be worn by anyone, and I want to wear it because I love vetiver. But I will say this, when you smell Encre Noir, you're gonna wish it smelled better because what they're going for gives you a vibe unlike any other fragrance. You know, it's kind of gothic. But one thing I will say is I did find a clone of Encre Noir. I never thought I would. And it smells way better than Encre Noir because they use a bourbon soaked oak barrel accord, and they ramp up the sweetness of the cashmere wood. So it smells like almost 1-to-1. It's like 85-90% Encre Noir, and the other 15% is like a sweet bourbon oak barrel wood note. Dude, it's so much more commercially wearable, but while still giving you that dark, that sweet, that woody, that rain. So much more commercial, and the fragrance is only like 10-15 bucks. Boise Noir Pour Homme from Milestone Perfumes. Get your hands on that, and then order a decant 1 ml sample from Scent Decant of OG Encre Noir, and you'll be like, oh my gosh, this $10 fragrance is actually better, which is not saying much because Encre Noir is only like 20 bucks. But I mean, you see behind me, right? Like, you know I would wear Encre Noir if I could because I own almost every Lalique fragrance. Ecousse, Pour Homme, Lalique White. Here's Encre Noir Sport. Here's Encre Noir a la Extreme. So I would wear Encre Noir if I thought it was a great fragrance. It's not a great fragrance. It's a crazy cool vibe, but it's so inky, it's so dark, it's so earthy, mostly inky, actually. It's mostly black ink, like 60-70%, and then 30% is like real earthy, dark vetiver, grassy, and this rain note, like it's soaked in dark rainwater at night. It's not uplifting, it's not fresh. It's fresh for being dark, you know what I'm saying? Boise Noir, or it's really Boy Noir Pour Homme, is a much better take on it. I was so shocked when I found this fragrance. I was like, wow, like, I'm really blown away by what they did with this. And even this is like cold weather, rainy day fragrance, which is hard to come by. It's very circumstantial. It's almost like just a statement piece. You won't find yourself wearing it a lot. Similar to like Encre Noir a la Extreme. Like, this is like very particular night, like maybe a hookah lounge, maybe a cigar lounge, maybe like a suit and tie night out with the missus at like a restaurant that's like really high end. Maybe like nighttime by the fire vibes, outdoor, you know. It's very circumstantial. So similarly, Encre Noir OG is the same. Okay, guys. Hey, listen. If I didn't answer any of your questions, well, let's answer blues real quick. In my opinion, I really think that Lucky smells better than 1 Million Elixir. I don't know about that. Do I have Lucky? Yeah, I have Lucky. I'm not going to spray it because I don't have that much juice left. You don't need to spray 1 million. It's so sweet. Different strokes for different folks. I think 1 Million Elixir is the best one out of that series, but not by much. I mean, Lucky is good. I think maybe fresher. 1 Million, I think, really hits home the spices and the vanillic more. But you're splitting hairs. They're all sugary, sweet bombs. Hey guys, I really appreciate you. If I didn't answer any of your questions, because the chat is always going crazy, please copy your question and put it in the comment section of this video live. and within the hour, I will answer your question in thorough detail. If you're new to this channel, I do episodes every single day. Every single day, you will get a full-length review of a new fragrance. I post reels and quick tips and tricks for how to buy fragrances online, what stuff you should get clones for, what stuff you should get the originals. We do community pages where I show you where all the best deals are. And it's just a wonderful resource to learn about new fragrances, find the best deals, and get really honest reviews from somebody who doesn't get endorsements about fragrances that I personally would recommend to you guys. And we do everything from cloning inspired to affordable, discounted, to designer, all the way to niche, several hundred dollar, $1,000 fragrances and everything. And we've got a ton coming. So I hope you guys subscribe if you're new. You will get a lot of value out of it. I post just as much as like a Gent Sense or anybody that you know that posts a lot. And yeah, thank you so much. This is the Scent Bubble signing out. But Mo, easy to answer your question. Best Bulgari Tiger clone is Tarathi Blue. And it looks like this. Make sure you get it on the TikTok shop because they'll give you a 45% off coupon if you've never purchased a fragrance on TikTok. And so I personally did that and got this fragrance for like $11. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Love you guys. Take care.